What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Talkin Sports with Jake. Hope we're all doing well. So let's talk about the World Series. Didn't do a show yesterday, so I'm backtracking just a tad. Game 4, just about 18 hours after the previous game. The game 3, of course, was the 18-inning marathon that the Dodgers won. Toronto bounces back, wins 6-2. Overall solid outing from Shane Bieber, goes 5 1/3. They win 6-2. They evened up the series at 2 games apiece. And this game started in the bottom of the second. Dodgers get on the board first.
Again, the 2-2. Now fastball hit in the air to right center. Deep but playable. Barger the catch. Muncy can easily tag and come home.
Enrique Hernandez gets a hold of one deep to right, but it's caught in deep right field. However, that would drive in a run. It was first and third. Sacrifice fly, 1-0 Dodgers, but top of the third, we had a colossal matchup with Shohei Ohtani on the mound against Vlad Jr. at the plate.
Hit well to deep left center. And this one will go.
2-run shot for Vlad Jr. Big home run for him. He has just had an incredible postseason. Will go down as one of the best ever if Toronto wins the World Series. Gives them a 2-1 lead, still 2-1, bottom of the sixth. Shimmy runs into some trouble, gets pulled in the sixth inning. Mason Fluharty would get Max Muncy to fly out, and then would face Tommy Edman with 2 on and 2 out.
He got him. What a great pitch from Fluharty.
Fluharty, the rookie left-hander, got that nasty sweeper, and he strikes out Tommy Edman. 2 huge outs from Mason Fluharty. Keeps the game 2-1. Top of the seventh. Ohtani gives up a single and double to lead off the inning. That brings up Andres Jimenez. Dodgers go over lefty Anthony Banda to face him down by a run in the 7th inning.
Easy left on left. But he doesn't. He lines it softly into left for a base hit. That'll chase Varsho home. It's an RBI single for Jimenez, and it's 3-1.
Big hit for Jimenez. Kind of goes with the pitch. Kind of drops it in left field. Really good hitting. Great at bat by him. That'll be all for Banda. Well, not right there, but he would give up another run. It'd be first, second, and 2 outs. They would go to Blake Trinan. Now 4-1. Bo Bichette would be the batter, and after him, it would be Addison Barger, who would help the Blue Jays.
Bichette lines the ball deep left field. Over the head of Hernandez and off the wall. Here comes Jimenez. Ground ball, base hit. And Guerrero is home. It is 6-1.
Back-to-back hits off Trinan from Bichette and Barger. So the guy is such a good hitter. And Barger's been very key in the postseason, especially in this series for Toronto. Back-to-back hits. Toronto goes up 6-1. They hang on to win 6-2. So big win for Toronto. And then game 5 last night. Toronto wins again. 6-1. Very similar score. They win 6-1. Take a 3-2 series lead as the series shifts back to Toronto tomorrow to finish this thing off. Gonna have some Halloween baseball. This got started with Davis Schneider starting off the game for the Toronto Blue Jays.
Game 5 is underway with a fly ball to deep left. Gone! The first pitch of the ball game.
First pitch of the game, Davis Schneider goes yard, gets a rare start. Hasn't played a whole lot in this postseason. Outside of game 3, he played a bunch after pinch hitting for Ty France, who pinch hit for an injured George Springer. And that has not played a whole lot, especially in at least since the Yankees series. He has not played very much at all in his playoffs. And but first pitch goes yard there, and just 2 pitches later, Vlad Jr. would pounce on Blake Snell.
And the Blue Jay fans making a ton of noise, and now Guerrero rips one to deep left, and it's gone.
Vlad turns on the inside fastball and hits a rope deep to left, gone. Solo shot for Vlad Jr. Vlad's had incredible playoffs. I already mentioned he has 8 home runs this playoffs. He has 5 strikeouts. You know how absurd that is, especially in 2025, when it's normal for hitters to strike out 200 times in a season, to strike out a lot, once or twice at least per game. He has five strikeouts the entire playoffs. We're almost done with the World Series. That's obscene. He's insanely good. He's got to be the World Series MVP if Toronto wins. I know, you could argue maybe Addison Barger, but I think it has to be Vlad. Toronto will be up 2 nothing early. Fast forward, top of the seventh, it's 3-1. Snell pitched a great game overall, 6 2/3 through 116 pitches. I think Joe Davis said the most pitches he had thrown in 3 years. But then we go to Henriquez, who went 2 innings in that marathon in game three. He comes into the game, first and second, two out to face Vlad Jr.
Ball four to the backstop. Here comes Barger, and the Blue Jays get another run. Fastball shot to right, base hit. Jimenez around third, on his way to the plate.
That 3-1 pitch was wild, completely overthrow it to Vlad. It goes out of zone to the backstop, right? That forces another run, and then Bo with another big hit. That guy is such an incredible hitter. The guy was out for like almost a month and a half, comes back, and the guy's hitting like 350, 360 in this World Series. The guy's been incredible. Toronto goes up for games too. That is such a resilient group. This is a group that had a dreadful season last year. In the offseason, they were in on Juan Soto. It was, all season after the whole time debacle. And you don't get him, and you struck out a lot of other big free agents. And just, how they were like 2 games under 500 towards the end of May. It was looking like another mediocre year in Toronto, which a lot of people predicted. I think I had him like 82-8 or something like that the beginning of the year. Did not have a lot of high hopes for this group. And he just got hot, and they ended up with the best record in the American League, and now they're one win from the World Series against Los Angeles Dodgers. Just absolutely incredible, so resilient. You lose in 18 innings in Game 3. Game ends at 3 o'clock in the morning Eastern Time. You go back out there, with not a whole lot of bullpen help, obviously because the Lagos were tired. In Game 4, you pick up the win. You got clutch hits when you needed. You got something off of Otani. Bullpen executes well, and in Game 5, you're able to pick up the win as well. Both games seem to have George Springer, your leadoff hitter, one of your best players, got that oblique injury. What an incredible group. And Toronto, they are one win from their third World Series championship and their first since 1993, which was 32 years ago. So it is Game Picks Day. I'm also going to do my power rankings as well. I'm actually going to do that first, before I get to the NFL stuff. I'll probably do college football before the power rankings. But we had two managerial openings in MLB that were filled. Twins hired Derek Shelton to be the new manager. I don't understand his hire at all. The guy was in Pittsburgh for like 6 years, didn't even make the playoffs. Pittsburgh's a very bad organization, not a good team. They obviously don't spend a lot of money. They're the real problem with baseball. It seems like them, the White Sox, and that group that doesn't spend any money. But the Twins, you've been irrelevant forever. You were terrible last season. You sold off everything about the trade deadline. Such a mess. You've got what, one playoff series win in the last 20 or 25 years. Like, I don't know what we're doing over there. I mean, Rocco Baldelli, I don't think he's a bad manager. I don't expect a whole lot more out of him than what he did with that group. But talking with Derek Shelton, come on. Shelton's in his 60s. It's a young group. He's in his 60s. He's not a great manager. I don't think he's, maybe not as bad maybe the win-loss record showed in Pittsburgh, but he's nothing special. And he's now your manager. I don't understand this at all. I don't know what he's going to do that Rocco Baldelli did. In fact, Rocco Baldelli won multiple division titles in the playoff series. I don't think Derek Shelton does that with this group in Minnesota. I don't say I don't really understand the hire at all. Washington Nationals have found their manager. Brett Barrera, he was a minor league manager of Kansas City. He's 33 years old. He's the youngest manager in baseball in 50 years. He's now the Washington manager. I actually don't hate this hire, by any means. Who knows if he's ready? He's really young. Never been on a major league staff, but he's been in Kansas City's minor league group. He's won a lot there for whatever that's worth. They've had a lot of young guys come up and make an impact with the big club. Like guys like Bobby Witt is one guy, Vinny Pescatino. He hasn't quite made an impact yet, but Jack Caglianone's a very high pick, who got to the show, a guy who he's worked with. So Washington's in a similar spot. Been in a large, they're in a large rebuild. Got a lot of young guys on that team. They're counting on C.J. Abrams and Mackenzie Gore, trying to unlock Dylan Cruz, who has struggled his first two seasons, being a very high draft pick out of LSU. So I think this is actually a good fit. So obviously, if he's not ready, he's not ready, but that remains to be seen. Brett Barrera is now the manager in Washington. College football game picks. Let's get started. We got Halloween college football tomorrow night. Number 25 Memphis will face unranked Rice. But I might have made a mistake with Memphis's record. They're 7-1. I feel like I'm pretty sure I remember saying that was not their record. When I did the AP rankings a couple days ago, but just in case that is their record. I'm taking Memphis. Rice isn't very good. Memphis is in a prime position to be the group of five team that represents in the college football playoff. They went over South Florida last week, and I think they get it done once again against Rice. Side by slate, the noon slate, we got Penn State against number one Ohio State. Ohio State's win, no problem. They're 7-0, best team in the country. They're rolling. Also, they're loaded the roster. Probably best overall roster in college football. Julian saying over 1,800 yards, 19 touchdowns against three picks. Penn State already fired their coach, of course, in James Franklin. They're on their backup quarterback. They're at 3-4. They're probably not going to make a bowl game at this point, which is crazy considering they were top three coming into in the country coming in to the season. Granted, that was kind of a BS ranking, but still, they were in the semifinals last year. Were ranked 12th, third or second coming into to the season, and now they're not going to make a bowl game. Ohio State at home against them, yeah, curtains. Ohio State favored by 20.5. They're probably going to cover that. Number 9 Vanderbilt against number 20 Texas. Whew, this should be a great game. It's a big game. And I'm going to take Vanderbilt. Texas favored by 2.5. Texas is at home. I'm going to take Vandy. A lot of people have fallen in love with this group. I am one of them. It's a little bit more sort of a story than a team, I will admit, but I think this is a good football team. Texas is just not as advertised. Coming in, they were ranked number one in the country. You were in the playoff last year, but they're not been as advertised. Arch Manning hasn't been as advertised, though I think he was overhyped because of his name. Like, he was never that good, at least not right now. But I'm gonna take Vandy in a slight upset. I believe in the Commodores. I will take Vanderbilt to win this huge game. If they win this game, they should make the playoff. They have one more game against Tennessee. That's going to be tough at the end of the year. Um, if you lose that and Texas, yeah, you're not going to get in. If you can win one of them, you'll have a shot. If you win both of them, you'll definitely be in. Noon, number 10 Miami against SMU. I'm going to take Miami. SMU's not horrible, but they're not great either. Just don't trust them. Miami, they're not an elite team by any means. They're being held back by the quarterback Carson Beck, but they'll beat SMU. SMU isn't great. West Virginia against number 22 Houston. Give me Houston. Houston's playing really well. 7-1, still in the mix for the Big 12 over there. West Virginia's really bad. Give me the Cougars. 3 o'clock. Get number 16 Louisville against Virginia Tech. Give me Louisville. VTech already fired their coach. Louisville is a very good team in the ACC. They're ranked 16, so they can keep winning and try and find a way to sneak in. Into that ACC title game, you never know what could happen. So I'm gonna take Louisville to pick up the win here. 3:30, the number 2 Indiana against Maryland. Indiana should win no problem. Maryland isn't great. Indiana's rolling, second best team in the country, 8-0 on the season. Fernando Mendoza over 1,900 passing yards, 24 touchdowns, like 3 interceptions. He's my Heisman pick right now. Give me the Indiana Hoosiers to pick up the win. Number 5, Georgia against Florida. Give me Georgia. Look, Florida, their roster is a lot better than the 3-4 record shows. They got horrible leadership over there. They're a joke. Obviously, Billy Napier was just fired. But Georgia's their fifth best team in the country. This game probably won't be a complete blowout. Georgia by 7.5. They'll probably cover that, but It won't be terrible, but Georgia's going to win this game. They are a better team than the Gators. Number 12, Notre Dame against Boston College. Notre Dame by a lot. Boston College flat out sucks. CJ Carr's played very well, over 1,700 yards, 14 touchdowns against 4 interceptions. He's played very well this year. Their running back Love is very good. Boston College is 1-7. They're garbage. Give me Notre Dame. We have number 13, Texas Tech against Kansas State in a Big 12 matchup. I'm going to go with Texas Tech. Looks like it's gonna either be them or BYU to come out of the Big 12 and make the playoff. If I was a betting man, right now it looks like BYU, but I think it end up being Texas Tech. But I think they'll beat Kansas State. Kansas State's not a great team. Give me Texas Tech. 345, number 15, Virginia against Cal. Give me Virginia. Cal isn't as bad as they usually are. They're 5-3. They're 2-2 in the ACC though. Virginia's playing really well, 7-1, 4-0 in the ACC. They've been a lot better than I thought. Give me Virginia to beat Cal. 7 o'clock, South Carolina against number 7 Ole Miss. Give me Ole Miss. They're rolling. Lane Kiffin is on top of the world right now. He's got rumors that Florida might want to hire him. LSU might want to hire him. Ole Miss came in and wants to lose him. His team is top 10 in the country. South Carolina. They're also not as bad as the record. They're 3-5, 1-5 in the SEC. They just have a brutal schedule. That kind of happens every year for them. But once again, they're going to be overpowered. Shameless is playing good football. Only throwing 9 touchdowns, but they can play with his legs. Only one reception all year. Almost picks up another win. We got Purdue against number 21 Michigan. Michigan should win no problem. Purdue sucks. As they usually do. Give me Michigan in that one. Number 8, Georgia Tech against NC State. Give me Georgia Tech. NC State is not a great team. Georgia Tech is very good. Haynes King is really good. I'm pulling for them to come out of the ACC. Brandon Keith's done a phenomenal job there. I hope he doesn't take a bag somewhere else and go to Florida or something. Give me Georgia Tech to win that game. Number 18, Oklahoma against number 14, Tennessee, which should be a big game, a really, really good game. I'm going to take Tennessee. Oklahoma, I've never really bought into Oklahoma this year, even before the Red River rivalry or before they played this past week. Ole Miss. I didn't pick them to win. I did pick them to beat Texas. Stuff didn't happen, but I did not pick them to beat Ole Miss. I think Tennessee is a better team. Jose Aguilar is the better quarterback. I think Tennessee picks it to win. Tennessee, everyone's like they have 2 losses. They're at 14. They could still get in. If you win this game, you got a couple of really easy ones, and then you finish up. You have the Florida game, which you should win. Going into the swamp is never an easy task, but you should beat them. You are a better football team than them. And then you have Vanderbilt at home, which that's no Vanderbilt's a good team, but again, you should win that game, especially at home. So if they win out, I think it'll be tough to keep them out. If they lose one game, they're done. But if they win out, which is possible, I think that they could get in. Number 20 for USC against Nebraska, in that really tight Big 12. I'm going to go with USC. Nebraska's a decent team. Dylan Raiola, for his weird Pat Mahomes act, he is pretty good. Matt Rule's a decent coach. Florida give him every single penny to be their coach. Probably not. There's better options out there. But 2 decent teams in the Big Ten. I'll take USC, and I think they're a slightly better team. And 10-15, number 17 Cincinnati against number 24 Utah. That's a big Big 12 game. I'm going to take Utah. They're at home. I know they're not ranked quite as high as Cincinnati, but both are in the top 25. Utah's favored by 8.5, which it's not a great line. Cincinnati I might take the point for Cincinnati. By the way, if I ever say anything about like gambling and it screws you over, you can't blame me. I know nothing about gambling. I'm just kind of guessing. I don't even know if the term I'm using are correct. So, I mean they are, but like sometimes the basic stuff I don't know. So just letting y'all know that. The only reason I talk about right because I know how involved sports gambling is. I mean, you see what's going on in basketball. It's a whole can of worms. But anyway, I'm taking Utah. And not enough seconds to fair by 8.5, but they are the lower seed. I'll take Utah at home to get past Cincinnati. A couple of moves in the NFL happened. Trade lines is right around the corner, about another week. But Jets trade Michael Carter III and a 27-7 round pick to the Eagles for John Mechie and 27-7 round pick. think it's a fine trade for the Jets. Just to fall in love with Jarvis Brownlee as their slot corner. He's played well in the lone bright spots that they've had this year. Got him in a trade with Tennessee a few weeks ago. Carr's been battling some injuries. He's due like another $25 million the next 2 years, and they move him for a guy that, you don't want to pay a backup slot corner $25 million. That's ridiculous. You move him, you get John Mechie. He was a second round pick coming out of Alabama. He was in Houston. Obviously, that first year he had leukemia, so he didn't play. His comeback didn't produce a whole lot. Was traded to the Eagles before the season this year. Hasn't done around anything there. He's just buried on the depth chart. He's got good speed. Maybe he ends up being the wide receiver two that the Jets need. They obviously have a bye this week, so they can integrate him into the team a little bit easier because they're on bye this week. And again, he's not making a whole lot of money. If he goes on and sucks and they want to move on, they could easily do move on from matchup season. So I think that's a fine trade from the Jets. They're gonna be 2-15 either way, but so not they're not going to run by any means. Doesn't matter what they do, to be honest. But not a bad trade on the service. I think it's a fine trade. The Steelers trade for Kyle Duggar. They got safety Kyle Duggar from the Patriots. They get him in the seventh round pick. They send the sixth round pick back to New England. Duggar just doesn't fit the scheme anymore. And New England was a decent safety for a couple of years, more second round pick. But for anyone who's crew coming in, just didn't fit the scheme anymore. He hasn't played a whole lot. Goes to Pittsburgh. It's better than what they have. That secondary is not very good. That trade was very silly to trade. I didn't really get to trade Minka Fitzpatrick for Jalen Ramsey and John Smith. You need their tight end. Ramsey isn't the same player. I think he's a better player than Ramsey is at this point in their careers. So the secondary is not very good. They've the most expensive defense in football, and they're not very good. Obviously got lit up by the Packers on prime time last week, but it's a fine trade for them again. I expect him to start this week, but again, the Patriots also sent out Keon White. I think they're definitely trying to open up for something. I know they're shopping around maybe for a key piece defensively, maybe another running back. If Gibson hurt, remember Stevenson has struggled throughout the year. They haven't really used Trevor Henderson much. Maybe they're looking to make a move. But maybe in the off season, something bigger. I think if they're gonna go and get Max Crosby or Myles Garrett, it's probably gonna be more of an off season. They both just got big deals. Those don't usually have mid-season in the NFL, but Kyle Duggar is now a Pittsburgh Steeler. But let's get into my power rankings heading into week 9 in the NFL. At number 32, I do have the New York Jets. They are still there. I thought maybe Tennessee is worse than them, but I still think they're the worst team in the NFL. You pick up a big win last week, but Fields, the only 2 games he's played well in this year were week 1 against the Steelers, who don't have a great defense, and to me played for last year, and last week against Cincinnati, a team that he is familiar with because he played against them twice last year. I'm not sure if he started in both games. I believe he started in at least one of them. And they have the second worst defense in the NFL. They're ranked the 31st defense in the NFL. Every other game he's been god awful. If Tyrod Taylor was healthy, he would have started. They're still the Jets, still have no receiving core, especially with Gary Wilson hurt. If Sauce hurt, they don't have much of a secondary either. And just the team is just brutal, 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 brutal. And they're at 32. 31st is the Tennessee Titans, also only at 1 win right now. Coach is already gone, and Brian Callahan. Mike McCoy is the interim coach. Cam Ward has struggled. He doesn't have a whole lot to work with. The offensive line's really bad over there. Their weapons are terrible. Only legit receiver they have is Calvin Ridley. He wasn't even that good. Tony Pollard has been great. Granted, there's no running holes with that offensive line. Defensively, they're okay. They're probably exhausted because their offense can't score any points, but they're nothing insane either. They traded their starting corners. Their slot guy, Jarvis Brown, they traded to the Jets, and now they just traded Roger McCreary to the Rams, who's one of their top corners. So there's just nothing going over there in Tennessee. They're a disastrous organization. The ownership there is brutal. Not as bad with the Jets. Woody Johnson is a clown, but it's not much better. Who's it? Amy Adams, whatever her name is in Tennessee. It's terrible over there. 30th is the New Orleans Saints. They're 11-7. Spencer Rattler struggled last week. Got benched against Tampa for Tyler Shuck, who's not going to be a star rest of the year. I do feel bad for Spencer Rattler. He's not a great quarterback by any means, but he didn't play bad, so to speak. I didn't think he deserved to get benched. And Trevor Shook didn't look any better last week. I don't think he's any good whatsoever. That was a shock. It took him in the second round. I think we knew when they drafted he was going to play at some point for an extended period. We all knew they were going to be very, very bad. And so he's going to start the rest of the year. I have a hard time seeing them win another game. Maybe they can beat the Jets in a couple of weeks, but that's about it. That's about it. But they're up there. They're very, very bad. You want this Chris Olave get moved. I heard Rashid Shaheed could get moved. So we will see what happens. At 29 is the Dolphins. Pick up a win over the Falcons last week. But still, you suck. You're 2-6. You got blowing up. Tua isn't that guy. Mike McDaniel's a clown. Of course, Greer's done a terrible job building this team. Tyreek Hill's hurt. They can't stop anybody. There's nothing to like. Blow it up. Trade Jalen Wild, Devon A-Chain, Chubb, Jalen Phillips, trade everybody at this point. And Tua should go in the offseason too. That they need to start over. They need to start over Miami. They won a playoff game with 25 years for crying out loud. 72 was their last Super Bowl. That was 53 years ago. 28th is Las Vegas Raiders. There's a terrible team. Only 2 wins on the year. But Jumpy is an exceptional talent, but the offensive line is so bad. Gino's been terrible. He's got 9 interceptions already this season. Brock Bowers missed the last 3 games. Thankfully, he's back this week. The only receiver they have is Jacoby Myers. Defense is terrible. Pete Carroll's a great coach, but he needs time to build a culture there. It's a very bad football team. 27 is the Cleveland Browns. They can hang around in games enough to where they're not getting blown out for the most part, but Quinton Juggens can run the ball well. He's a good back. Like Jerry Judy's good. David Njoku is pretty good. Even Tillman isn't a bad piece, but just they have no quarterback. Dylan Gabriel hasn't played bad. The guy has no arm. He's not pushing the ball down the field. The offensive line there is terrible. They do have a good defense. Miles Garrett is obviously a freak. They have some nice pieces in the secondary. Denzel Ward's still a good corner, but just there's not enough offense there. It's a clown show in Cleveland. 26 is the Giants. It's rough over there. They've been at least been competitive with Jackson Dart. He's looked really good. That's a good sign. But now with Cam Skylin off here, it's a tough loss. Definitely if Tyrone Tracy was pretty good. But he's got no one to throw to. Their run game's going to be hurt. Well, their offensive line's been better now. Andrew Thomas is healthy, but still isn't great. Defensively, Shane Bow, I don't know why that guy still has a job there. Their D coordinator. A lot of talent up front. The secondary, I mean, should be better than it is, but just they're not getting it done. They're at 2-6, got a tough schedule the rest of the way. Now, at this point, Brian Dable's coaching for his job. Joe Shane, even still has a job. Giants were at 26. 25th is the Houston Texans. Texans are a team that just, on paper, I don't hate what you have. Should win your division. Right, I didn't think the Colts would be this good. Then when I watch you play, it's like, ooh, it's not so good. Stroud, I really think he needs a little bit more help. When he's gotten any sort of help, he's played well. I know he's had a few games where he's looked really bad. But I think he's looked a little bit better than last year where he did not play very well. They have no running game with Joe Mixon hurt. It's been Woody Parks and a washed Nick Chubb. And, Collins has been nicked up a little bit. The rest of receiving core isn't great besides the tight end Dalton Schultz. They're pretty good defensively, but offensively they're still struggling. The offensive line is brutal. And they're not having a good year. They only have, what, two or three wins on the year. 24 yards on the Cardinals. Know how I feel about them. Kyler is very, very mediocre. Missed the last couple of games. Come back this week to play Dallas. But Marvin Harrison's hurt. They're on their third string running back. James Conner's out for the year. Trey Benson is hurt. So they're Bam Knight, who came in as the fourth or the fifth running back, is their starter. Not a whole lot to like. The defense is just meh. Not a whole lot to like there. 23rd is the Bengals, 3-5. Just an atrocious loss last week, blowing a 15-point fourth quarter lead to the freaking Jets, who came in at 0-7. Joe Flacco's played well. Chase Brown's finally getting involved. Jamar Chase is. He's amazing. T. Higgins is great. The defense is just such a train wreck. They have a bottom for defense in the league. Their offensive line is very good. Zach Taylor is not a great head coach. I don't care if Burrow's hurt. If they miss the playoffs, he has to get fired. I think that's where it's trending. Look like you saved your season beating the Steelers in prime time in the Unk Bowl against Aaron Rodgers, but now blowing that game to the Jets, I think you're right back in that hole. 22nd is the Ravens. Big win with the Bears last week with Tyler Huntley. Now Lamar Jackson's coming back to play Miami tonight. You're at 2-5, but you're getting a little bit healthier. I think Denver Kenny will his production should pick back up with Lamar Jackson coming back. I should kickstart them. Their schedule is very easy the rest of the way. Pittsburgh is really the only true threat. Cleveland sucks and Cincy isn't very good. There's still a very clear path for this team to win the division. I think they will. But right now they're at 22nd, but they're on the upswing a little bit. 20 versus Dallas. Simple. Offense is great. Dak is Dak. Javonte Williams has been a pleasant surprise. He's running his ass off this year. CeeDee Lamb is back. He's great. George Pickens has had a great year. Ferguson's great. But that defense is so bad. They have the worst defense in the NFL. It's so bad. And they're trying to make a trade. Don't think it's going to happen. Now, Trayvon Diggs on IR. He had like a house incident. He's going to miss 4 games. It's ridiculous. And not for nothing, their head coach is Brian Schottenheimer, who hasn't done the worst job ever, but he's not, a world beater of a head coach either. Matt Eberflus, can't believe they hired that guy as a defensive coordinator. Yikes. 20th is the Carolina Panthers. 4-4. They're one of the worst 4-4 teams out there that you'll see. Bryce Young is not good. I don't even know if he's healthy. He didn't play last week. Look, they can run the ball. Rico Dow, Trevor Hubbard, technically they're their only true weapon. They're not very good on defense. Can't stop the run. The offensive line is hurt. I don't expect a whole lot of that group. 19th is the Falcons. I thought about flipping them and possibly putting them even lower, but Carolina did beat them. But I think they're a better team than the Falcons, than the Panthers. But that's not saying a whole lot. They're not very good. They're a weird team. They beat the Bills in prime time. You lost 30-zip to Carolina and 34-10 to Miami. Michael Penix he's been a mixed bag. Kirk Cousins played last week, looked really bad. After the Bijan, not a whole lot to like there. Trip London didn't even play last week. Kyle Pitts actually been pretty good, but it's not enough to save this group. This defense is terrible. Raheem Morris is a joke by a coach. If they miss the playoff, which is looking likely, he's got to get fired. 18th is Washington Commanders. Just not their year. Jane Daniels has missed a bunch of games. Now, Terry McLaurin is re-injured. The rest of the receiving core isn't great. Deebo Samuel hasn't looked very good this year. But defense is just kind of okay. Offensive line is just kind of okay. They're 3-5. Your quarterback is now Marcus Mariota at the moment. It's tough seeing right now in Washington, which is a shame because they were in the NFC title game last year. 17th is the Bears. It's a mediocre football team. Caleb Williams just not that guy. I don't know how many times I have to say it. There are some nice pieces offensively. Romadunde's played very well. They've played a little bit better defensively, but they also gave up 30 last week to Tyler Huntley. They have other pieces, obviously. The Ravens, Derrick Henry, obviously. Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers is very good, but Tyler Huntley was their quarterback and you got 30 points. Some of the play going last week for Ben Johnson was a little shaky. Uh, the Bears, I don't know what they're doing. I don't think Dennis Allen's a great defensive coordinator either for that team. They're at 17th. 16th is the Vikings. Another team, talented team, but just not their year. J.J. McCarthy's been hurt for a while. Carson Wentz was playing, wasn't anything special. Now he's out for the year. They got McCarthy back this week, but as good as my team is, ton of weapons offensively, obviously, led by Justin Jefferson. But he did not look at those first 2 games. He missed the last month and a half with an ankle injury. Now he's back. Defensively, they're pretty good, especially up front, but secondary could use some work. And obviously, they have a very inexperienced quarterback. They're at 3-4 right now, right? 3-4, 3-5. That division's really brutal with Detroit and Green Bay in it. Don't expect a whole lot of them. 15th is Jacksonville. Started off 4-1. The last 2 games they haven't looked good. They're kind of coming back down to earth. Trevor Lawrence has still been a mixed bag. Trevor Etienne was playing great. Last couple of games has struggled a little bit more. I'm surprised they traded Tank Bigsby for nothing to the Eagles. Now with Brian Thomas Jr. not producing this year as much with Travis Hunter in the mix, they might be trading him. Defensively, still nothing special. I've never sold on Liam Cohen. They're at 15th. I expect them to be a lot lower as the season goes on. 14th is Pittsburgh. I don't know what else to say. This is obvious. 9-8, 10-7, first round play. Like it's written, it's written in the stars. Aaron Rodgers has actually played pretty well for a guy who's 41. They have no running game. Caleb Johnson hasn't been very productive. Jalen Ward sucks. T. Metcalf has played well, but they have no other weapons really besides the tight end firing. John Smith has been a ghost. But that defense is so overrated. They're overpaid. Tomlin's overstayed his welcome. Not sure what he's still doing there. Steelers coming in at 14. 13 is the Chargers at 5-3. Chargers are another team on paper. Like this is a very good team. I watch them play. It's just like, you know, not quite all there. But they're at 5-3. They started off really well. Have a lot of injuries. Obviously, Rayshon Slater, their left tackles out for the year. That's definitely a huge blow. You're onto your third running back with the G Harris rather. He's on IR for the year, torn Achilles. Marion Hampton's still her under reserve. So Kamani Vidal's your top back. I don't hate Kamani Vidal. I think he is pretty good, but he's just not the talent that Marion Hampton is. He came in as the third back this year for a reason. They have injuries on defense, but Hurt's still playing really well. They're 5-3. 12th is the 49ers. They've had a zillion injuries this year. Brock Purdy's missed a bunch of time. They're about Ricky Pearsall right now. Juwan Jennings missed time. Kale just came back. Fred Warren, Nick Bosa, their two best pieces on defense are out for the season. So they have so many injuries, but hanging in there. They get what 5-3. You lost last week, but they're trying to hang in there. Bringing back Robert Saleh as the defensive coordinator has helped the defense. They're trying to hang in there. Mac Jones has played pretty well. They're hanging in there. 11th is Seattle. They're a good team, 5-2. Sam Darnold's played well. The running game, they've kind of gone with the hot hand of Kenneth Walker and Charbonnet, but it's got my job done. They have some nice pieces. JSN has been a dog, I would say. I think right now he's top five receiver in football. They've been good defensively. I like Mike McDonald's. Seattle is a very good team. At 10th, it is the New England Patriots. Much like to say it, they are playing good football, 6-2. Drake May is balling out. Stephon Diggs has played well. You got a good tight end, Hunter Henry. The offensive line is massively improved. Will Campbell's been great as a rookie. He might win the first ever Protector of the Year award. The running game could use a lot to be desired. With Ramondre and Henderson, I wish they would just give the reins to Henderson. I don't know why they haven't. But it's good defensively. They have a very good pass rush. Your secondary's been very good ever since Christian Gonzalez came back in week 4. No, they're a good team. At 9th, it's the Denver Broncos. That defense is elite. I think the best in football. And Bo Nix has played well. He's had some big moments late in games. Overall, he's played very well. They've ran the ball well. J.K. Dobbins has had a really good year. RJ Harvey's coming along now. Sutton's really good. That's a really good team. 8th is the Rams. They played really well. I've tried to tell people Matthew Stafford's back injury, not that bad. He'll be fine. And just look at what's happened. Even Puka Nacua, he was nicked up. He might still be, but Devontae Adams is really good. Kyron Williams is really good at running back. The defense is enough with that elite offense. We all know what Sean McVay is. They're at 8. Seventh is the Bucs with a loss and all their injuries have, piped them down a notch a little bit, but still a great team. Baker's playing really well. Even Bucky Irving out. Shar White's he's just kind of been okay, but so many guys out. Abuka has missed time. Mike Evans on into reserve, unfortunately. Godwin's hurt. They've been injuries on the line, on defense. They have so many injuries, but they're hanging in there at 5-2. Should still in the NFC South. 6th is Philly. Team's got some flaws, especially in that secondary. I imagine that's why they trade for Michael Carter up front. But Hurts is doing enough to win games for the most part. You have Saquon, AJ Brown and company. Still a very good team. They have the tush push, which needs to get banned. They can still use it for now. They've had the officiating on their side to this point with that, but they're still 6-2, and they're going to easily run that division. Because their best competition is Dallas, who can't stop anybody. Top 5 at 5th, I have the Buffalo Bills. Look, Josh Allen's doing Josh Allen thing. James Cook is running his ass off. He is a dog. To be honest, the rest of the record could be better. The receiving core is just kind of okay. He drove just Shakir and Coleman. Talking Kate's a decent tight end. Defensively, this kind of just been okay. They got some pieces out. Now with Oliver might be hurt. That's gonna be a tough loss. But they're right there. They're right there. Not the first place right now technically, but they're still right there. Fourth for the Indianapolis Colts. Not playing them at 1 yet, but this is a great team. They're at 7-1. Daniel is playing really well. Jonathan Taylor probably is the MVP of the league right now. He's got 13 touchdowns already. That's crazy. On pace for an historic mark with that. He has to be decent receivers. Michael Pittman's pretty good. Downs is good. I like Alec Pierce. Love Tyler Warren, the rookie tight end. The defense has played well. They've had a relatively easy schedule, but they're winning the games. They're 7-1. Third is the Kansas City Chiefs. I still have them ahead of the Colts. They've gotten hot. Mahomes is balling out. Don't have much of a running game. Isaiah Pacheco's not been good this year. But Rashee Rice is back. Xavier Worthy's played very well. Travis Kelce, not quite the same player, but he's still Travis Kelce. Good defense. They're still the Chiefs. They're at 5-3. I expect them to once again win the division and probably have a long playoff run. Two is the Detroit Lions. I mean, they're rolling. Offense is just as good. Gibbs is a dog. Jared Goff's a good quarterback. I'm on Raza stud. Laporta, you know the deal. Defensively, missing pieces in the secondary. Turn on your young corners hurt. I know Brian Branch was suspended last week, but playing well. Aiden Hutchinson's got a huge deal. He's great. That's a great team. And the Packers, I have them at number one. A lot of power in lane, who's hard to really tell who number one truly is, but Jordan Love has played well. Josh Jacobs has run his ass off. Even with Jaden Reed hurt, Matthew Golden wasn't produced a whole lot, but you've gotten enough production there. Tucker Kraft's been great in the red zone. That defense has been ferocious. Micah Parsons was a huge pickup. I have them right now as the best team in the NFL. NFL game picks. Let's get into it. Thursday Night Football tonight. Ravens and Dolphins. I'm going to take the Ravens. The Dolphins are really, really bad. Tua's got 10 interceptions already this year. They can't stop anybody. Lamar Jackson is back. They'll help the running game with Derrick Henry. I pick him to bowl out. The Ravens should win no problem. They're 8.5 for a reason. Ravens win. I still think they win that division. Sunday, 1 o'clock slate. Got Bears and Bengals. It's kind of a middle, if you ask me. I'm going to take the Bengals. Caleb Williams isn't very good. I don't trust him to step up by any means. Cincinnati, they can't stop anybody. In a higher scoring game, I believe in Flacco. I know he might not play this week, but I'll take the Bengals to win. Vikings, Lions, Anthony York matchup. Give me the Lions. J.J. McCarthy might be a little rusty. Coming off that injury, he's been hurt a lot to start his career. Don't put a ton of confidence in them. Lions are rolling. Give me the Lions. Get the 6-2. They're at home after all. Panthers, Packers. Green Bay should win no problem. They're gonna dominate. Carolina lost 40-9 to Buffalo last week. Both will be that bad, but I expect the game not to be super close. It's at Lambeau. Jacobs is going to run down their throats. I don't know if it's going to be Andy Dalton or Bryce Young, but they're going to face a lot of pressure. Green Bay wins, no problem. Chargers, Titans. A lot of games are not so good in this slate. Chargers win. Titans suck. They're so bad. Cam Warren's got nothing out there. He hasn't played very well. They can't score. Chargers, they have injuries, but they could Justin Herbert. That's enough to beat the Titans on. Just that. Falcons, Patriots. Give me New England. Hate to see Patriots stuck in wins, but they're playing low. Drake May is playing out of his mind. He's been great. Falcons aren't very good. Looks like they'll get Michael Penix back this week, but I'm not sure if they'll even have Drake London. That would be a tough loss. Give me New England to win again, especially at home. 49ers and the Giants. I'm going to take the Niners. I just think not having it was only to lose neighbors, not having Scatabo, I think they're going to lose a lot of their flair that they've had. No one else have a ton of injuries, but they still, they have a decent group. Kittle is back. Juwan Jennings is back. Mack has played well. Even if he starts again. Giants. Darts look really good, but he's thrown to nobody. Now the running game is going to suffer. No, I think the locker room is a little bit lost. I don't think they're happy with that staff. You saw, Dexter Lawrence was kind of war word with Carl Banks. Carl Banks kind of called him out because he hasn't had a great year. Dexter Lawrence is very happy. I think the Niners have to win. Colts and Steelers. I'm going to pick Indy. Don't believe in Pittsburgh. I think the Colts are very good. I think they are a true contender. They don't just play well. That Pittsburgh defense is not great. Give me Indy. Broncos, Texans. Give me Denver. I don't know why Houston's favorite. I don't care how they're at home. Denver is a very good team. Bonus is playing well. They can run the football. That defense is elite. They're going to get a lot of pressure on CJ Stroud to make some mistakes. Give me Denver to win. Probably the low scoring game. 405. Jaguars, Raiders. Give me the Jags. The Raiders suck. They're 2-5. I don't know why I see from Jacksonville either. But I think they'll be able to score a bunch of points. Give me Jacksonville. Saints, Rams. Give me the Rams. But the Saints are so bad. Tyler Shucking's in for a rude awakening in this late. He's not any good at all. This trigger was going around about the Saints. I don't know how the locker room feels about Power Struck replacing Victor Rattler. The Rams should win without much issue. They'll score a lot of points, but will not have a water. They're by 13.5, and then they're probably going to cover that. 425, Chiefs Bills should be the game of the week. These games are always fantastic in the regular season or in the postseason. And the Bills, it's weird. They've beaten the Chiefs in the regular season pretty much every single year. But the playoffs comes around, something happens. I'm going to take the Chiefs in this one now. I think they get it done. They're playing great. Mahomes having his best season in 3 years. Third game with Rashee Rice back off the suspension list. Morty, Kelsey, defense is playing better. The Bills defense hasn't been great this year. I think it will be a high-scoring game. Should be a fantastic game. Has game near potential. I think the Chiefs get it done. From the football, Seahawks and Commanders. Give me Seattle. Sam Darnold playing really well. They'll come off the bye. They're rested. It looks like it'll be Marcus Mariota again. No Terry McLaurin. And they lost two struggles from this one. And Seattle wins on the road. And then Monday Night Football to finish this thing off. Arizona Cardinals and Dallas Cowboys. I'm going to take Dallas. It's going to be a higher scoring game with Tyler coming back. From a slightly like well, to fully reset, but I think Dallas in a shootout. I trust Dallas more than Arizona. So I will take the Dallas Cowboys to remain get back to 500, 4-4-1. They would be at 3-4-1 right now. Arizona, I have them dropping 2-6. I don't think they can't run the ball. The defense isn't that good. They won't be able to stop Dallas. Browns, the Eagles, and Bucks are later on buys. Give me Dallas to win on Monday Night Football. Monday Night Raw from a few days ago. Let's get into it. We had CM Punk and Jey Uso with a promo. It was pretty boring. This is the problem with Jey Uso. He can talk. He's not a very good wrestler and overpush as hell, but he's good on the mic. He's funny. The backstage segments with Roman and Jimmy Uso have been really, really good. But he can talk on the mic, but every single time he's about to say something, he starts getting into it. It's like, oh, this is about to heat up. They got to stop shoving Yeet down our throat. Stop with the double entrance. It's so annoying. Him and Punk was I think that's a world title match. I'm gonna throw up a Saturday Night's main event. Yeah, Penta versus Rusev in a #1 contenders match for the Intercontinental title to face Dom. Dom makes the phone call to El Grande Americano and his, I guess, henchman. They get involved, ends in disqualification. And then Adam Pearce goes up to him. He was like, Dom was playing all cool. Like, oh, I don't know what happened. He was like, well, you're facing both of them in a triple threat for the Intercontinental title at Saturday night's main event. I do feel bad for Dom. His reign has been great, but it's already not on him. He's such a great talent. I argue he's one of the 5 best talents I have is this overall talent. He's come a long way. He is so good. He's great. And the only heel, maybe outside of, like, I guess Roman Reigns, that they do that chant for Derby, Derby, Dom. But that should be a fun match. That was a good match between Penta and Rusev. Nikki Bella against Roxanne Perez. Roxanne picks the win. Those are just an okay match. Obviously, Nikki's at the end of her career. Stephanie Vaquer comes out to stop the beatdown from Roxanne and Raquel. But LNN against Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker picks up the win. Very good match. He obviously LNN had to deal with also even Paul Heyman provided a distraction. We had Sheamus versus Jay McDonough. Very good match. Typical Sheamus. JD picks up the win with help from Finn Balor. That was a very good match. JD McDonough, very good underrated, very good in-ring wrestler. And then backstage, AJ Styles and Dragon Lee, they're going to fight the Judgment Day for a rematch for the World Tag Team titles this coming week on Raw. I mean, they had the Women's Tag Team Championship match for the main event. It was Charlotte and Alexa Bliss against Bayley and Larry Valkyria. Charlotte and Bliss retained. That was a really good match. That was a good main event. I was very impressed. I mean, I think it would be a good match. I mean, Flair and Bliss they mix so well together. And obviously Charlotte's one of the greats. Alexa Bliss was great. Bayley and Larry are both very good. This is just 4 of the top in-ring women's wrestlers just going at it. That was a really good match. Great finish. Overall, a decent Raw. As we got Saturday night's main event this Saturday. That's all I got for you guys today. Not planning on doing a show tomorrow. Not sure. Come up in the air with Halloween. Uh, but I don't see you. Happy Halloween. Be safe. Be careful. So I got for guys today. Till next time. So long. Have a great day.